Hey guys, hey guys, this is Ricky. This is for Techbud Solutions. So we're gonna have a couple people join us, and today it is well, it's the 30th, I believe. Let me turn my alarm off. All right, so it is Monday, May 30th. It is Memorial Day, and today the video is going to consist of pretty much I was creating a watch list for tomorrow. So TechBuds is a group that I started. We're gonna have this is a live stream that I do. So we have a scheduled event, and pretty much I talk about the stocks that I think have potential, and then I kind of set a watch list for all those who are new to trading can kind of just join, follow along, and then we can all kind of network with one another. So I see a couple people are joining right now as we speak. Um, if you guys, well, mostly all of you are going to be TechBud members. So if you guys want to comment on our Facebook that you guys are on, just comment on or something like that, just so I know who's on, because it tells me the viewers, it just doesn't tell me who it is. And then it has a little chat on the right hand side. Let's see for you guys. So there's a little chat box on the right hand side. Feel free to start commenting and asking questions, and then I'd be happy to help you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen and kind of going through my watch list. And again, I can't hear any of you, so that's why I have my phone, and I want you guys to be sending me messages and letting me know, like, okay, can you repeat this and stuff like that. Even though there is like a 5-second delay, it's still better than nothing. So, and thank you guys again for taking time and joining this group on Memorial Day. So I really do appreciate it, and hopefully you guys learned something. If you guys have any specific questions for those who are tuning in, please again comment on the Facebook that you are online, and then comment as well, just asking questions on what I'm talking about and stuff like that. All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. So you guys can still hear me. Okay, and pretty much the stocks that I want to talk about is this is my watch list, and this is my watch list on Fidelity. Pretty much what I do is this is the Fidelity application I use when it comes to looking at stocks. So they're called technical analysis, and I do one pretty much every night. So this one's provide, and they're for all the stocks that I feel that have potential. So I have a list of them, right? So pretty much what I do at the end of the day, I see how stocks did. Some close in the red, which means they are in the negative. Which means that if they opened at like, well, according to this opened at what is it, 766, as you can see right here, and then there was a 2 cent, loss that day, and that means that it closed at 764. So by that puts it in the red, even though it's just that small of a loss. The reason I like the red so much is just because it is in the red doesn't mean that it's a bad stock, because let's say for SKLN, when it has a big red or a big drop, that actually means that that there's a lot of potential for it to go up. So I'm actually getting a call right now, guys. Give me one quick second. I'll be right back on. All right, guys, sorry about that. Thank you again. And for those who are tuning in right now, there's a chat box that is enabled on the right-hand side. All right, let's see. So thank you guys again for joining us on Memorial Day. There should be a chat box. If not, you guys feel free to comment again on Facebook. You guys can message me on the GroupMe application that we have going on, or you guys can message me on Facebook if that's easier for you guys while I go through this. So I want to spend about 30 minutes just so I can get you guys back with whatever you're doing today. So let's just make it a little bit more efficient. So right now, Nestor is asking, so can I open a Fidelity account to be able to look at stocks without actually spending money? Yes, you can actually open an IRA, and essentially you don't even have to have pretty much an account at all. What you can do is you can just go on the Fidelity application like Scottrade and kind of just look at the graph. I don't think they allow you to do a technical analysis or an advanced chart, which is one of these by putting in these little things. You can open an IRA, it doesn't cost you anything. I know you do need a social security number, so it pretty much comes down to you guys can message me, tell me that you want to do a technical analysis on like SKLN. I'll do one for you and then I'll send it out. And then you can kind of review it and kind of do your own little thing. So I thought I'll share my screen. Let me start sharing my screen for you so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's just get to it. Pretty much what I want to talk about is a big one that has been trading this week is Rex had a huge spike, as well as Eagle had a really big spike. Let's see where Eagle's at. I believe I already have Eagle right there. Lenco Q and Line Q. So let's go ahead and search those up. So Line Q. So this is one that you would want to do. So pretty much Fidelity allows you to go through this whole thing without actually having an account. You can actually just go on fidelity.com and view this whole thing. So you can kind of like enlarge it, kind of set your margins. You guys can go to like 1 month. I like to do a 10-day analysis just to get a better understanding of what the graph is doing. So when it comes down to it, you can't tell too much here just because of so much movement. So I put it around a 5-day period. I go to settings and then I do candlesticks. And then I click apply. So pretty much just by looking at this, I don't know if it's going to let me draw anything, but what you can see, obviously the lowest that you can tell is just you drag your little mouse here, and then right up here, it starts to tell you the highs and the lows. So you just want to keep your eyes around these two right here. So the high here, the low is 11.8, so you can tell like the lowest that line has ever been, or line Q. And this is when that huge drop happened, actually when it got delisted most likely. Line Q hit about 11, so it shows that it has a strong safety net right about 11 cents, and it has a strong resistance level right about here, which is pretty much 16 to 17 cents. So by understanding that right now, I mean, the past week it was pretty slow for Line Q and Linco just because of that huge drop of it being delisted from the stock market and going down to the Q. So if you guys do not know, most stocks that have Qs behind them are delisted stocks, which tends to bring the price down. It doesn't mean they're always bad stocks, just means that they're paper or pink paper stocks, so they're considered officially penny stocks. And by that, I mean, they're kind of just a little bit more risky. Just by understanding that, I mean, it is, you could understand this. There can be huge drops out of nowhere, and then it's just a matter of just understanding the risk that you're willing to take. So pretty much what I would tell you guys here is only wait for a really good setup. So around 11 to 12 cents is where I would buy in, and I'd play it safe, sell about around 15 cents, possibly 16 cents if you want to be a little bit more risky. But that's for Line Q. And again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me on the GroupMe application so I can answer them while we do this. So this is Eagle. This is actually a pretty big one. I actually was telling the team that this is a good one to trade. Unfortunately, I was too busy trading Line Q and wasn't able to ride this up. But just based on the history, so we're going to go here, draw a resistance level, which is a safety net as we call it. And the lowest resistance level, I mean, yes, it does go below it, but again, the lowest resistance level that I want to kind of put out there is around 50 cents. So stocks tend to stay around even numbers, as in 50. Well, they're not even numbers, but they're zeros or fives. So this one's at 64 cents, so it wasn't like 64.1. It usually closes, let's go ahead and draw a resistance level. So obviously the top of the line is right about 64 cents. But being realistic, right now the market value for Eagle is 58 cents. So what I would expect to buy in is, since there is this huge increase, as you can see here, if this stock price right about here, right about the 57 mark, if it falls below that, you guys are going to see a huge fall back down to 54 cents, and that's possibly where it's going to begin to be traded around this area as well. So I want you guys to kind of think of, these of like little groups. So this is a little group, this is a little group, and this is a little group. So pretty much the stock is trading around right here, right? It has a safety net right about 50 cents, resistance level about 57 if you ignore this top piece right here. And by understanding that is, once it passes this resistance level of 57 cents, this now becomes a safety net. So there it shoots up, this is the new resistance level, and now it's being traded in this. Let's just call this stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, or level 1, level 2, and level 3. Right now it's being traded in level 3. Most likely, if it drops below 57 cents, you're gonna see traders kind of just, so as you see here in history, it just dropped all the way down around to 53 cents. Right here, after it goes below 57 cents, I would expect it to go below to around 52 to 54 cents and begin to be traded around level 2. And then that's where you have to go back to this graph, see that you're in level 2, and kind of begin doing your trading around there. So then an easy or good buy-in would be around 51 cents, and then you sell around 56 cents. So when you're talking about penny stocks, for those who don't know, let's say you have $1,000 and you buy about, what is that, 51 cents. If you buy 51 cents, that's equivalent to almost 2,000 shares. So let's say you write it up and then you sell at this resistance level that we talked about here, but let's play it safe. So we sell at 56 cents. So from 51 cents to 56 cents, that is a 5-cent gain. So 5 cents times the 2,000, that's about a $98 to $100 gain. And that's just by understanding this. So these people that trade this, that bought down here in the same day and sold right here, they made $100 with only $1,000. So that's a 10% increase just by understanding this. So 10%, yeah, that's not huge, but let's say we're talking about $10,000 you trade, then that's a $1,000 gain that you're going to have that day. So it kind of just depends on how much money you're willing to invest. It doesn't mean, okay, go all in and invest $10,000 and try to make 1,000, because that's not always how it's going to work. But just by understanding this, you have a better understanding of what you're going to trade. It's not always about making the biggest gain, but making sure that you understand what you're trading, making sure that you're not trading based on hope or based on emotion, but you look at the graphs, you look at the numbers, and where you buy and sell, just numbers that you already have in your head. So if I buy in at 51 cents right here, I'm not going to wait until it spikes up to 64 cents. With Techbud, something I really like to emphasize on is if you buy in at 51 cents, before you buy in a stock, let's say I want to buy Eagle, before I buy in at 51 cents, you should know where you're going to sell. So let's say you put your limit order to buy at 51 cents. The order gets filled at 51 cents, you should set a limit order to sell at 56 cents. Just by understanding this graph, so you don't have to wait and then submit your order once the price already hits there. So a limit order, for those who do not understand, is the stock is being traded at whatever the market value is. So a market order, if I say I want to buy 10,000 shares of Eagle at market order, it will fill me at 58.35. But because I know where the safety net is at, I'm not going to buy at 58.35. I'm going to set a limit order at 51 cents. And once the price drops, once the market price drops down to 51 cents, my order will get filled. That means someone has sold at 51 cents and you are buying their order. And that's pretty much the easiest way for me to understand what limit order is. So once you buy in, make sure you already know where you're going to sell, because if you don't, I promise you, you are most likely going to lose money, because you are reliant on emotion, you are reliant on hope on the price to go up. So if you do not know where you're going to sell, then you obviously do not know where you're going to buy. And I mean, in that sense, then best of luck, right? So this is pretty much a technical analysis again for Eagle. I would say for those that are new traders, wait till it drops back down to 51 cents, 52 cents, and then kind of start trading from there, just to minimize your risk. And that again is a technical analysis for Eagle. So let's go into this one. Dust has actually not been one that we've talked about much. It's one that I kept my eye on just because of the prices of gold. Prices of gold tend to go down, tend to pick back up during summer. And right now, gold in the U.S. market is actually, starting to pick up again. So based on this, it had a safety net here. So if you guys want to go back 2 years, the reason I think that, or let's not go back that far, I apologize. You guys can kind of see that it's decreasing here, decreasing, and then it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, right around the 17 to, what is that? The lows of 12 to 17 cent, $12 to $17. That is where gold is being traded as of now. So there's it's kind of plateauing, as you guys can see here. So what we can tell is if we draw a safety net, it is right about that 12.50 cent mark, or $12.50 mark. And then the area of support, or the resistance level that we're trying to pass, is right about here. And the reason I say it's right about here is because, well, currently it's at 17.68, so we're most likely going to see a drop. If we don't see a drop, then we're going to see a big, this is stage 1 or level 1 again. And then now it goes back to this being stage 2, being around stage 3. So stocks were being traded here, was going up and down, now went down here, started trading at around here, and now it's starting to pick back up. So once the stock drops around $13 again, then that would be considered a good buy-in, as you can ride it back up to, $17, $18. And then if you want to hold, I mean, Dust seems to be a little bit more, this is definitely not a penny stock. This is a stock that you can definitely hold on to. So let's say you invest a little bit more money, since it's not a penny stock. Let's say you invest $5,000 and you buy in at that low. I mean, obviously you most likely won't get filled at the lowest, but let's say you get filled at $12.80. So that's about 390 shares. You hold for $12.80, and let's say if we go 1 month back, so May, April, 12, and now it's at 24. So from pretty much $12.80, it goes back up to $25, let's say. So what is that, a $13 gain? Now, so by that $13 gain, really, just with that $13 gain, you guys are almost doubling your money. So with 5,000, you're gonna make, oh yeah, no, definitely, that's doubling your money. So you're gonna make $5,000 out of investing $5,000 just by understanding this. So obviously, this is a little bit more secure when it comes to trading. Again, I'm not saying that's something that you should do, but this is definitely a stock that, based on its history, it has not gone lower than those $13 per share. So those people that bought in that low are and it probably for the long haul understood that that's the lowest it's ever been. You want to keep up with just, overall, like the news that has to do with Dust, and make sure it doesn't go bankrupt, because then you'll be in some trouble. But yeah, this is a stock that I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on. And then these are the little safety nets and resistance levels that I put. So again, stage 1, stage 2. Once it passes this now becomes a safety net, as you guys can see, but once it goes below it, now this becomes a resistance level, and then it went below it once, but very unlikely, picked back up, spiked all the way up, went back down, and then now is trading around this stage 2 area. So I'd keep an eye out. I would definitely buy in around that $15 mark, and then ride it out, for maybe 1 month and see where that puts me at. So be careful. Just be sure that whatever you're trading, you're okay with losing. And I know that sounds weird, but it's a matter of, when it comes to trading, you are not always guaranteed what you're going to be trading. So pretty much I just want to get you guys a better understanding of what it is that I look at when it comes to doing a technical analysis. So this is an advanced chart and a technical analysis. I really want to help out those people that Let's see. All right, I really want to help out those people that are just joining the group, and even those people that are in the group already. I want you guys to get a really good understanding of what it is to trade stocks, that it's not always, making a bunch of money, because that's not why that's why people get into it, because they see that, like, I have my house and I have the G-Turn, I have multiple cars, and it really does not come down to making a lot of money, because with the way I trade, I don't make a lot of money. I trade and I make a decent amount of money per day that I save, because I don't need any of the money that I'm making. Mostly, I have really no expenses when it comes down to even my mortgage or anything that I'm doing. I have my mortgage, I have my cars paid off, and all these things just because I save. It's not about getting rich super quick, but putting in the work, that making sure, like, you kind of have a plan and a goal. And that's what I want to do with you guys. I want to have a plan. I want to create a plan for each one of you with what you guys truly want to do. I had this new guy join the group today, and he was pretty much telling me that he wanted to be like me and my friend, and because we had our cars and stuff like that. And that doesn't mean anything. It really comes down to you having a plan. Being successful is not having a bunch of money, but what you're willing to do with it. So what I want to do with it is being able to help others, and I want to make sure that I do not at all think I'm successful. I think that what it is that I do is it's what I'm supposed to be doing. I save a lot of money, and I don't spend it in stuff that I don't need it in. And just by understanding that, I think your eyes would really your options are really just open when it comes to what it is that you want to do. I want to kind of create a kind of like a list is what I'm trying to develop. I've worked on it for the past couple of kind of like weeks in a sense, and it's a list that I want to provide for all of you on steps and methods to minimize your guys' loss when it comes to trading, but not only trading stocks, but pursuing your goals of what it is that you guys want to do, because that's essentially why you guys are joining this group, because you guys kind of want to ensure, like a nice and successful life, and that's what I want to help you guys achieve. But I want to make sure that you guys are willing to put forth the effort, because it is not an easy task. It really does not come easy, even though what it is that I do, it's not difficult. It's just, if you think it really comes down to saving. And as simple and as simplified as that might sound, it's so difficult for people to save. It's so difficult for people to wrap their minds about, like, that everything that I have is just basically because I save and because I invest money to make more money. But it's all because I saved it. It's all because I took the time to have a plan. I saved according to that plan, and then now I'm going to be helping you guys work towards those goals. It is not a get rich quick scheme. Me trading, I make about $100 to $200 a day. Let's say 5 days a week. Then you're looking at, possibly to, what is that, $500 to $1,000 a week, and then 4 times a month, right? So that's about $2,000 to $4,000. Let's say $3,000 on average. That's $36,000 a year that I do not need. I don't need any money that I actually make at my real job. I'm not saying that I don't need it, but it helps me qualify for other things, as in, be buying different investment properties. It's all about understanding what you want to achieve, making a plan, and, like, screw your age. You guys cannot be making so many excuses because of your age or because of what you're doing. By the age of 14, I had a plan on how I was going to buy my car by age 18. I developed a company, and I worked on it as hard as I can to be able to hit my monthly goals. I would have the sub goals that I call them, of, like, my overall goal for, like, the year is to make $12,000. That means $1,000 a month. I always achieved my goal at age 14, but when I did, great. And if I didn't, and I ended up making $600 to $700 at age 14, that all went to my savings, and so be it, right? I mean, I was saving $600 a month, and that is what led me to have a larger investment portfolio. So again, I don't want to get too much into that. I kind of just want to have you guys think of what it is that you guys want. And that's such a broad question, but you guys really have to try to think what is it that you guys want out of this. It's not about having everything, having a GTR, I mean, it's nice, right? But I can tell you, me owning my Mustang, out of 2014 Mustang, I was probably a lot happier in that place, in that position of my life, than where I am now, owning my house, owning multiple cars, because of all the stress that comes with owning these things, and all the work that it puts forward. I mean, it's a lifestyle that I'm choosing to live, and it's a lifestyle that I want to continue to grow. But I'm just telling you that it's not always a happy life. And I really need you guys to really understand that, that it's not always super easy. It's not always, it's difficult. It's difficult doing the simple things as in saving. It's difficult doing the simple things of, going to school and being a good kid and staying on track with what you want to do, because sometimes you feel like it's just not worth it. But you just have to ask yourself how bad you want it. If you really do not want this lifestyle, then you can live 80% of the U.S. population. On average, 20% doesn't even make over 100,000. And by age 21, to be able to achieve something that most people do not achieve in their lifespan, then that is amazing. I feel like I have so much potential, and I want to share that with all of you, because what I do is not special. What I do is not anything that not the average human being can do. And that's really what I want to I want to sit down with every single one of you and create a plan. That's what I want to do. Once we create a plan and we get you guys to understand what it is that you guys want to do, then that's when we can start investing. We can start investing according to your plan. Because if I say I'm going to invest $5,000 on Linko Q, that does not mean you should be investing $5,000. You might not even have that. And when it comes down to it, if it goes down, I'd lose all my money. I'm okay with it, but will you be? We all have to have a plan. And although how boring and how basic that sounds, it really comes down to that. I really want to help you guys all achieve your guys' goals. I really want you guys able to network in this group. And I talk about that because I feel like that was the biggest flaw in me being in my position as what I am today. It was so hard not being able to talk to anyone about what I'm doing and ask for other people's opinion. We have so many different people in this group. We have people that own their own companies. They're legit companies. People that are trying to do their own startups, their own entertainment business. We have people that own rap companies. We have people that are engineers. They're from all different sorts of ages. And it is because we all want to achieve one thing, and that is success. And I really think with the bigger and community that we grow with Techbuds, the more potential that we'll have with one another when it comes to trying to achieve our goals. Because I cannot help each one of you if you guys want to develop an app, but I know there is a member in our group that is an app developer and has developed apps. So if you guys just message me on GroupMe, or not even me, but the group, does anyone know this? Does anyone know where I can get started? Then you can start networking with people. Off of that, if it's not trading isn't for everyone, because you have to be very patient, and that's not always, and it takes a lot of time, and for your guys' jobs, that's not always something that you guys have. I'm really excited. I really want to develop this list, and this list I'm going to be out to all your guys' emails with just having a plan and making sure you guys understand what trading is and trying to minimize your loss. But then I want to sit down and talk to every single one of you about what your guys' plan is when it comes to being successful, and just see what we can do together. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I'm probably going to have to get other people's help when it comes down to each person's goals, just because the group is growing, still 2 to 3 members a day. And I can't keep up every day with the group. So I'm probably going to have to start hiring a couple different members and seeing what we can do there. And then I'm working with a kind of like an app developer to develop some type of program where we can all communicate, because I really don't feel like GroupMe is just enough for what I want it to be. So hopefully that ends up going out. And then I want to develop kind of like a watch list scanner that you guys can kind of just click on, and then it scans, what stocks have the highest potential. So that's something that's really difficult, but that's something that I really want to develop, and hopefully it can help all of us when it comes to trading, potential stocks. Again, please message me on GroupMe if you guys have any questions. You guys can do so right now. I'll probably sit around and see if I can answer any of your guys' questions. We're sitting about right now 30 minutes of this live stream, and I want to get you guys back to your families on this Memorial Day. Pretty much it. So I'm really excited. So tomorrow, let's just get back into it real quick. Tomorrow, what I'm going to be trading is, let me share my screen. What I plan on trading tomorrow, I still have some stocks when it comes to Lenco, CoQ, as well as TRKK. So TRKK, I told you guys that I bought this stock at 85 to 87 cents is where I got filled. So if we click on it, I actually have it right here. Should. TRKK is right here. I saw that a good area, a good safety net was right about 8.5 cents. So when it comes to trading, as you can see, 8.5 cents was actually the lowest. I believe I got filled at 8.7. And just by the amount of shares that I bought, right now I'm sitting about like $120 gain based on it being at 93 cents. I really feel like it can get to 9.5 cents, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to risk it. I'm just going to see how it opens tomorrow. So again, when the market opens within the first 15 to 30 minutes, it is the most volatile, which means it has the most potential to spike up. After that, it kind of just starts to plateau. As you can see, it's spiked up here, and this little, where my little cursor is, and then it kind of plateau, drop down, rode back up, and that's just within the last hours. It tends to have a little bit more movement. So again, just be aware. I mean, if it spikes back down to 8.5 cents, then I would suggest, set your alerts at 8.5 cents, or just keep your eye out when it falls at 8.5. And then just know you can sell at 93 to 95 cents, and that's a pretty good area of resistance to sell. So set limit orders to sell right about 8.5, and then to sell at 9.3 to 9.5. So that's going to be one that I'm going to be trading. I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for Eagle and seeing if it drops, so I can ride it back up. And then SKLN, actually, I feel like is going to have a lot of potential right here. If it drops back again, so it had this huge spike, I feel like if it ends up dropping back at that 10 cents, just based on the spike, we see that there's a lot of potential. I would be, more than willing to buy around that 11 cent, just based on that being the lowest, and seeing if I can sell it right around that 13 cents. So again, just depending on how much money you want to invest, I would say for those who have not gotten started on how to trade, please just continue watching us trade until reach out to me so we can schedule an appointment so I can get you guys a little bit more organized. I know I've been trying to make appointments with you guys, and some things just come up that kind of